Happy 420 and good afternoon. Welcome to the Culture and Cannabis Podcast. I am your guest host, Derek Gumin, filling in for JC Coates and full-time Tony. They're up in Reno, crushing it, taking care of business. They've been running around everywhere, not taking any time off. It has been incredible. So kudos to those guys. They're working hard. They've left me with the show today. And well, I brought along a guest. They kind of gave me the reins to kind of choose somebody that I thought was really special in the Las Vegas market, not only in the music industry, but in the cannabis industry as well. He's a great friend of mine, a consumer nonetheless, and one of the most spectacular DJs that I've ever met. Mark Eteson, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you very much for having me. What an absolutely lovely bit of wordage you used there. Your prose was wonderful. Spectacular, you might say.
Now, let me first ask you, obviously, the viewers don't really hear these types of accents very often. What are we picking up there?
I'm originally from southwest England.
Southwest, is that Wales? Yeah, they call that area.
No, it's very close to Wales. Yeah, it's 45 minutes away from Wales, actually. Funny you should say that.
Interesting.
You must know do you know your geography?
I know my geography a little bit. I got a little Welsh in me.
I bet you got a bit of Welsh in you. I want to hear about that.
Yeah.
Don't tell me anything about him.
Oh, God. So listen, it has been one hell of a year, dude.
Wow,
one hell of a year. I don't know about our folks out there, but it's been tough for a lot of people. 2020 has been all over the place. Nobody knows what's around the corner. And really nobody's been more affected in this city than our restaurateurs and our artists. I mean, Mark, what's been going on in 2020? I mean, you used to be highlighting, I mean, just for those of you who don't know, Mark would be at some of the hottest clubs in Las Vegas, day clubs, nightclubs. He had a residency, I believe, at what, MGM?
Hakkasan.
Hakkasan. I mean, incredible artist here. And then all of a sudden, no more live music. What happened?
The craziest year of all time. Everything's upside down. It just changed in a heartbeat. I was actually in Mexico, and I played a show at Omnia there in Cabo. Tiesto played the day after. We were raging. We were celebrating with champagne. It's March. The year's going to be amazing. It's literally spring. It was actually spring break. That was what it was. So yeah, we were having a whale of a time. And I flew back on a private jet. Life was ripping. Your life ripped so hard that it had to shut down. And basically bat soup, and there we go.
Yeah.
Everything was lost. The clubs were all closed. Dancing was banned.
Dancing is banned.
Dancing is still banned, actually. You're not
right
now
in Las Vegas. Yeah. Dancing is banned.
Dancing is still banned at the moment. Yeah, nightclubs are banned. You have to sit down if you go into them. It's such a strange year, and it really, really threw me into disbalance, of course, because I'm a DJ and a music producer, but predominantly a DJ here in Vegas. And I was playing 4 times a week, and then it's closed, and it's still not open. And that meant that I had to question myself, because I had to earn money somehow. And if my predominant way of earning is through playing gigs, and I'm not playing any, what have I got to do?
But you have been busy. You have been busy.
Yeah, but it took a lot of changing stuff around. It took a lot of, difficult questions and having to answer. I had to make some changes in my life. But
so let me ask you a question. What was your transition point? When did you decide I need to get off my ass and stop feeling sorry for myself and get out there and start fucking ripping life again?
About 4 or 5 weeks. I think it was probably between 4 and 6 weeks after the beginning of the lockdown, and my mates pulled me out of it and said, "Come over and work with us. We're all working out of one of the guys' apartments," and it was really close to mine. And they said, "Just come over." And they kept on at me until I eventually did. And they pulled me out of it, for sure. You get by with a little help from your friends. And that is the absolute truth. They saw that I was in a place of struggle, and they brought the positivity back to me, and they gave me the confidence when I needed it to make music again. I hadn't made music in 6 years, since I moved to Vegas, pretty much. 7 years I moved to Vegas, but 6 years since I'd released anything, because I just became obsessed with being as good as I could in the club. I had to deliver the best set every single night, give everyone the best night, which is impossible. Like there's a 21-year-old, and then there's a 70-year-old, and there's a businessman, and then there's the crowd's so diverse. But I was obsessed with that. It made me lose my uniqueness. I didn't have any music. So
it was something was taken away from you, and it was a part of you. It was taken from you. Yeah.
Because I became the Vegas DJ, and you do lose your uniqueness when you play to such a diverse crowd. Not taking anything away from it. I ripped it for 7 years. We were part of history. You've never seen the clubs like the clubs are in Vegas. It took me about 2 or 3 years to acclimatise to the way that clubs go out here with the presentations. It's just bonkers. People coming down from the ceilings dressed as pandas. We have people coming out in cages.
Yeah,
and it was like living in a dream world. And we were absolutely living in a dream world. And we all needed this. The globe needed it to kind of have a reset and a reminder about
global reset. Hey. Now this is a conspiracy theory. The world order was a new global world order.
Whether someone devised it or not, I think a lot of people have. I've had serious struggle through this, but I've also grown as a person because of it. So they did me a favor if someone set it up.
Well, listen, I mean, to me, I think friendship is so important in hard times.
Yes.
You can always rely on the people around you, hopefully, right? That's the idea. That's why they're your friends. You can't rely on them to pull you out of a really shit spot in your life. They're not your friends. You know, so you want to surround yourself with people like that. So what was the first step after that? So then you said, okay, I'm going to get my act together. I'm not going to let this lockdown beat me. What was next for you?
It's funny because I was sat on my couch, and the day that happened, that I go over to these guys' house, I've got an app, and it's called Universe Splitter. And it's all it does is you ask it a question, and you set the answers. So you set a question, and then you give it the 2 answers. And all it does is randomizes them. It gives you a 50-50 on one or the other.
It's like a magic 8-ball.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
But you get to be very specific about the question. So you can ask it a question and feel like it's answering directly to you.
That's pretty cool.
So I'm like, I looked up on my Instagram, and the clubs are closed. So my Instagram says DJ and producer. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm not a DJ at the moment, am I? So I'm a producer. And I asked the Universe Splitter, am I a producer? And if it said no, I don't know what I was going to do.
You were leaving
I was going to have to okay, maybe I have to figure out some other career opportunity then. And I was going to maybe, I don't know, look into different work or something. But it said you are a producer. So I got to pack my bag and I went over to my mate's house and I made an album. And this is no shit. I did a track every day for 14 days. I got 14 tracks and I'm mastering them all now with people, other amazing friends that have come out of the woodwork that I didn't realise I had until I asked. I've never been one to ask, and I've always hated being someone who asks for favours. But it's been so kind of, I don't want to sound, cliche and stuff. It's been so nice to have your mates be like, yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
Why didn't you ask before, kind of thing? And then I was like, hey, you idiot, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Come on, why are you sitting down and getting annoyed with yourself and eating too much food when really you should be ripping it and making all the tunes?
100%.
And that was what I had to figure out.
I got to tell you. For me, the passion, I could tell you have a lot of passion in your voice, and when life rips, it truly does rip. But you get brought back to reality sometimes, and that was your humbling moment almost. It was your moment to say to yourself, I need to change. This is going to be good for me.
Yep.
So you went from kind of just a transitional moment. Now you're creating. You have a 14-track album. You're mastering it now. I noticed you were doing some fun like hotel venues and like high-rise venues and just some fun stuff that I think we could all use now. I mean, what I've noticed is a lot of people are throwing DIY parties, smaller gatherings but more fun. They're unique. We have to get creative in this time, and I think you've done that. I mean, tell me a little bit of some of the more fun and exciting things that were going on over the summer, and what were you getting into?
Well, because the clubs were closed, there was no corporate partying space. And obviously, because we're in a social distancing environment, lockdown and the wearing of masks also affected our ability to have any kind of parties. So,
well, there was one party that we got away with, and I believe it was on July 17th. You, I believe, headlined that party.
I popped by.
Somebody that was turning 35. Anyways, but that aside, no, I mean, what ripped this summer the most for you? What took you to another level? And you were like, because I started seeing your Instagram a lot, and it was powerful. It's moving, kind of how what JC and Tony preach every day. That hustle's in you. Mm-hmm.
Well, I found that hustle though. I think I might have lost it for a little while because I got complacent from coming to Vegas and being in the luxury. This place is lights and it's glitter and diamonds and money and hot birds, and it's just like the peak of everything that you want. Or everything that most people are like drawn to, you know.
Good weed.
Gambling and good, yeah. And the best weed I've ever tasted, ever smoked. I've not even been a smoker for longer than 3 years.
Wow.
I've smoked my fair share.
So this legalization in Nevada actually opened the door for cannabis in your life, and it's probably one would want to incur that it helped with your creativity,
Absolutely,
just your overall sense of being.
Absolutely. Well, the party you just mentioned was one of the highlights of this experience, we should call this year.
Yeah.
And that was a party through a contact that I've met through that scene, the cannabis scene, which has been something which has really, really helped my creative process. I think it makes me relax, helps me not think about things too much. I really second guess things too much when I'm in the studio. My OCD is nonsense. And I'm very much a logical type of thinker. I went to university for law. I was going to be, I would have loved to do debates or be in court or whatever else. I took a real diversion there into being a producer, music producer and a DJ. But I think I struggle sometimes when I'm in the studio to be creative or to relax fully, I think.
Well, I think what you need in your life is...
Because I'm too OCD.
I think you need a little ha-ha beverage in your life.
That's probably what I needed all along. I'm realising it.
0 calories, bubbly, and 10 milligrams of fun. I mean, there's...
I laugh with every sip.
I laugh with every sip. Anywho.
Anyway.
So... Tell me a little bit more about,
I'll just touch a little bit more.
Yeah.
We did party a little bit this time.
Okay, yeah.
I'm not going to say that there was nothing.
Yeah, because I want to know the nitty gritty. I want to know the dirt.
We did it in a good way. We made sure that we were socially distanced, of course. But I partied a little bit. I did a couple of yacht parties. We did something for July 4th, for Independence Day. And I actually then started taking my decks on a tour.
And I saw his new decks. This was another thing, right? Didn't you pick up a new deck?
New decks.
He did that. Sometimes you have to treat yourself, especially if it's going to benefit you. If it's something that is going to increase your productivity, if it's going to increase your bank account, and it's a little bit more money than you're accustomed to or comfortable spending, but it's going to change you and your livelihood, you need to do it.
And that's exactly why I did it. I backed myself. At the point when I said I'm a producer, then I had to make the tunes first, and then I was allowed to get the decks to play them.
Yeah.
That's the order of things, you know?
It confirmed, like, I'm all in.
Yes, I'm all in, I'm backing myself, and I need to make this back, or whatever, you know, the money that it costs to buy it.
Sure.
It's like, and I also fell back in love with DJing again. It got to the point where I'm playing stuff in the club that I'm not necessarily in love with, you know, some hip-hop stuff that I've got to play, or someone's said, can you play this? And then they tip me, or, you know, you get some requests from some big tables and you have to oblige for the most part. And DJing doesn't become quite as much fun when that happens. But I love DJing again now because I've been doing it and I've been playing what I want, and I've been looking out at Vegas and the MGM and just remembering what clubs are like. And now the club is my living room.
Yeah.
You know, went from a resident DJ to a residence DJ, but that's the way the way life is sometimes. You know, c'est la vie.
Well,
take a sip of the ha-ha and just get on with it.
That's right.
That
is quite delicious.
Wow.
Jeez Louise. So these lockdowns are hopefully going to be over at the end of the year. That's what we all hope. There's on the 15th. You let me know before the show. I guess our governor Sisolak is supposed to make an announcement because there was a 3-week order put in place. It expires on the 15th of December this month. Mm-hmm. What do you think, being somebody who has had 3 months turn into 5 months, turn into 8 months, and now here we are, is it going to come full circle? Are we going to? I mean, I think it's going to be to the end of the year. Do you think January 1st it's a restart?
No way. They couldn't do that. They're going to have the vaccines are rolling out at the moment, so there's going to be a extremely slow rollout, and clubs will be the end of that. Unfortunately, that's just the way it's going to be. I think we're looking at least March, April time probably. I'm looking today I was looking at when Hall & Oates were next playing because I love listening to an old school track, and I was listening to some amazing Hall & Oates on vinyl. And I looked up, I wonder when they're next in Vegas, thinking that they might have some, because people who are announcing tour dates, their tour dates are beginning in April.
That's good news.
Not in Vegas, but no.
Okay,
but
fair, yeah. It's happening.
I'm DJing in 2 weeks' time in Orange County. So like there's things happening. It's just going to be slow.
It's a slow rollout.
Yeah, and Vegas, because of the size of the things that we have here and the grandiose of everything, we're just going to take a little bit longer, because we're talking about thousands and thousands of people here, not just a couple hundred or something.
Do you think that the mask mandate is going to also carry on? Is this something
I think that's something we're going to have to put up with at least until the middle of next year, or whenever enough vaccines have been dispatched, let's say.
I've talked about this with a few people. It's kind of one of these little funny things that, I just, when I'm high, just sit at home on the couch and think about. These masks are going to be like a index fossil, which is essentially a fossil that if you found in any, like, for example...
You're right, mate.
The meteorite...
I'm thinking about that now. There's going to be,
Yeah, so the meteor that hit the dinosaurs in 65 million, there's a layer on planet Earth that that layer is affiliated with that exact time in history. Well, 2020 and 2021 are going to be remembered for those masks when people are digging shit up thousands of years, and they're like,
fossilized
what the
blue
fuck
masks
are all these masks doing here? They'll have to go back in the history books.
Yeah, why are they all shaped like people's necks as well? Aren't they face masks?
Yeah.
Why are they shaped like chins?
Yeah.
They're going to be like, the people weren't wearing them properly.
It's crazy to think about, but it's one of those things that only 2020 could produce.
Yeah. A layer of blue masks on planet Earth. Thanks very much.
God, we're a bunch. I feel like we're a bunch of sheep at this point.
Honestly.
We don't have a say.
I'll tell you, that's
we
why
don't have a say.
Aliens, if they have visited us, the reason that they haven't communicated with us is because we are a bunch of nonsense papheads. We can't even get on with each other. We fuck most stuff up. We're basically a pain in the ass, and we need to really be sent to our bedrooms a lot more often.
It's like we're like a pledge.
Most
trying
humans,
to make a fraternity, like a universal fraternity, and we're just a bunch of lifelong pledges because we can't fucking get our shit together.
We can't get our shit together. No. We look like a bunch of children. That's what we look like.
Yeah.
And if intelligent beings could look at planet Earth, first of all, they'd go, oh, there's a virus raging there. We'll go to a different planet. Secondly, they'd go, it doesn't look like they've really got it figured out yet. We'll come back in a couple of thousand years.
God, dude, it's
we've got some stuff that we need to take care of first.
Well, I couldn't agree more, and it's funny you say that because for those of you who watch the news, this is something that's going on right now. The government's effed up beyond belief, obviously, but this might be the one thing that, hey, they've kind of alluded to it. They try to cover crap up, right? But at the end of the day, science fiction movies started around the same time as Roswell. They've been prepping us for this shit for a long time, subliminally, and now, because we had Trump in office, he was this non-politician comes in and says, what the fuck? Aliens are real? And he starts having Congress and the Pentagon release this shit, and now we're getting told that they're from government sources that this shit is real, and it's our backyard. Area 51 is our backyard.
I know. I've driven past it.
Have you ever tried to go in there and do a show?
No. No way. You get shot.
Some Joshua Tree shit.
You'd literally get shot. Yeah. You can't go anywhere near it. You know when they're about to storm that place? These idiots. Yeah, go for it, dude. You're gonna get pinned down, fella.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, I thought it was absolute nonsense. Why would anyone want to do that?
That was bonkers.
People were actually going to storm it. It was a Facebook group. Of course it was.
It was last year. It was last September.
I know. I remember reading about it.
Absolutely crazy. It's funny. We try to make sense of all this whole year, and for me, when I think about Mark, he encapsulates this in this amazing piece he's been working on. Mark, tell me a little bit more about it. It's called Clowns, and I think it resonates. It resonates with society now because we look at all the people in power, and they're clowns, and all you can do is make light of it. All you can do is have fun with it and just make the best of it. We don't, like I said, we don't have a choice anymore. The government makes our choices. They don't tell us what they don't want to tell us. And
we get told whatever. Well, this is interesting, isn't it? The way you touched on this. I don't know. Clowns for me it actually started when I went over to my mate's house. It was actually what they called themselves. It didn't start off political.
Really?
It was us calling ourselves the Quarantine Clown Squad.
Oh, elaborate a little bit.
So yeah, it's just a bunch. It's like 4 lads, and we're idiots.
Oh, okay.
So, and it's quarantine.
I got a
we're all
quarantine squad
clowns.
like that.
We act like clowns whenever we go out to the club, and all of us are idiots in our own way. We're all psychos in our own ways. Good psychopaths.
The good kind.
The good kind, which there are good kinds.
Let's distinguish. There's a good kind of being a psycho.
There's the ones there's Dexters.
I'm a sicko, but I'm not like a kill
I'm
ya
a sicko, but not a psycho. It's different spelling.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Let's just distinguish. I may look like a serial killer, not a serial killer.
Yeah,
just
exactly. The only cereal you kill is your Lucky Charms.
Yeah, and my cereal. Yeah, I mean it's part of my
and
life.
his Cocoa Pops.
Anyway, so back to the.
So back to clowns then, because he's a clown. So that's what they call themselves. So I started off with that idea in my head because I'm making a track a day. So it literally starts off with a word, or I might hear a sample of a song, and I think, I'll try something with that, and I just would smoke. And then just go with it for the day, and I'd have a product at the end of the day. So this album really has been fueled by cannabis. That's every single day. My mates were saying you should name it that. I'm not gonna. One of the tracks is called High though, and it has a sample from one of the Beatles in it.
Really?
Yeah. Play it. I should play it to you. But anyway, so I'm like, I need to make a track called Clowns because I put my headphones on. I'm working with these other guys here, and I want to make them laugh. I fucking love making people laugh. It's the best thing, isn't it? Having a ha-ha. So I'm like, how can I do this in a track? So I'm typing in clowns onto Google, and then I found Trump talking about the Democrats, calling them a clown in the White House. And I was like, this is too good to not sample. And it went from there, and I added more bits into the track. I actually finished the track and then added more bits in after the first debate.
You worked on this quite a bit.
Because then I put bits of Biden in there and bits of Christopher Wallace going, all right. Because he's got such a distinctive voice as well.
Yeah.
And it was just great for sampling, just to drop little bits in of their vocals.
It was so encompassing of like this whole year. I felt like
when it spiraled out of control. Then because then when it was clowns and I had Trump in there, then my ideas went just out of control with how can I turn this into a fun video piece. How can I have it be the clown show? Clowns to the left of me, jokers to the right. Oh, that came into my head. That sample. Managed to find an a cappella of that on YouTube, and then all of a sudden I've got a solid track. And I was just like, how can I use hot girls in Vegas to sell this?
The music video was great. You shot it. So I bumped into Mark real quick, because we'll get to the video.
Yep.
But I bumped into Mark at a Halloween party that was at CBD World, I believe it's called.
Hemp World.
Hemp World. It's right next to the Las Vegas airport, right next to McCarran, and kind of where the Grove is. Anyway, it's an outdoor CBD farm, hemp farm, and they went to the nines as far as decking it out for every Halloween element you could think of. Webs, blow up, crazy, scary things. The lighting in there was incredible. Smoke machines. They had this guy in basically just a sea of what looked like weed, but it's hemp, but it's the same thing. It was just awesome. The best backdrop I've ever seen.
It's an absolutely insane backdrop, and they're one street behind the strip, so it's the full view of the landscape, I want to say. Landscape strip, and you've got planes going over your head. It's just bonkers. It's
just an incredible portion of film that you have, that you're able to now use for whatever.
For absolutely everything. Yeah.
I've never seen any installation like that before. It was pretty cool, and it was really low key. It could have been huge, to be honest. These guys did not give a fuck. It was cool.
Yeah. It was invite only.
It was, but it could have been bigger. Everyone was afraid.
But we've got to be careful.
COVID and hey, you know what? It was a blast. I had so much fun.
And that's the first time you heard the track?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you had the mask.
We basically filmed some of the last scenes of the music video for it.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it was
absolute banger.
It was a banger. The place was ripping. I mean, it was.
We ripped it that night. There's no doubt we ripped it.
Oh yeah, it was total rip.
Absolute. Yeah, that's for sure.
Well, I think before we get to your video, real quick, I think it would be only right if we just maybe joked around a little bit with a couple of these products here. I wanted to actually show you these. These are the new Haha Sour Bombs. They're mystery berry.
What flavor is a mystery berry then?
It's a mystery, Mark.
When you get blue Smarties, what fucking flavor is that? What flavor is a blue Smartie?
This is white. You see it like an Airhead.
What? Smells good.
See if you can guess it.
That is a sugary snack.
Yes, Yes, unlike haha beverages. 0 calories, 0 sugar. Yeah, it is.
I laugh with every sip.
I love it. That was a nice little plug. Give me what popped off your head.
Citrusy. That's what popped off my head.
You're not going to
It
give me.
was hard to
You're not gonna
distinguish
give me
what
it's a
specific
mystery
one.
berry. The hint is the berry.
Schnozberry.
You got it.
I knew it. Schnozberry. Isn't that from Willy Wonka?
Yes, or Super Troopers.
Maybe. What flavour was it though?
I can't do it on air, Mark.
He doesn't even know what
Yes, of
flavour
course
it
I know
is.
the flavor. I was part of the panel that decided.
All right, dude. We've all been part of the panel before.
Okay,
Show
listen.
off.
I'll tell you behind the scenes. I'll tell you when we get on. Anyways, well, Mark, it's been a blast. I've got a little Planet 13 goodie bag for you, some trendy,
Thank you
some
very much.
Dreamland.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Thank you for coming. I mean,
It's wonderful.
It was a hoot hanging here with you today.
It was absolutely awesome. It was a pleasure to be invited, and thank you very much for having me on board. And I wish Full-Time Tony was here, the man, the myth, the legend.
Let me tell you,
I'm sure he'll be back soon, won't he?
JC Full-Time Tony had been in Oklahoma for weeks on end.
What are they doing in
I mean,
Oklahoma?
dude, they're opening up like a
just-
considerable amount of
Because they're
accounts
ripping
down
it.
there.
Of course they are. They're ripping it, aren't they?
Ripping it.
They're ripping it.
Total rip.
Makes total sense.
So, yeah, I mean, like I said, they are hustlers, dude. They're getting after it. JC's getting fucking jacked.
Is JC getting swole?
Oh, dude, he's getting
is
so
he a
swole.
soldier?
Oh,
for
he's a
goodness sake.
soldier.
I knew it.
He's a soldier, yeah. So, JC, keep up the puff tough.
Keep
all
it
right?
up, JC. I
Shout
love
out
that.
to Joey Diz. All right, Rick, we'll break the fifth wall here. I'm going to send it to Mark, and we'll do a little introduction and fire on the music video for the people, I think. Mark, you want to do a little intro?
I'm going to do a little intro because I did make this music video myself, and it took me 2 weeks. I put it up on YouTube, and it lasted for 7 days, and they took it down. It's banned on YouTube because it's too risque. It's too sexy. They said that it was too erotic. So
I think the people are going to like this. I think
Hey,
the people
it's
are
some
gonna
sexy
like
girls dressed up in clown masks. They're dancing outside of Trump Towers. I
this.
mean,
Sounds like a win.
what can go wrong?
What could go wrong? Well, Mark, thank you.
Thanks for having me, guys.
And thanks to JC and Tony again. I'll
Thanks,
be back sometime, and hopefully we'll be seeing you soon. This is Clowns by Mark Eteson.
These people are clowns. 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 They're being laughed at all over the world.
All right. All right.
Look, here's the deal.
Red team. All right. Blue team.
This guy is a monster, a giant of a man.
All right. All right.
Being laughed at all over the world. Being laughed at all over the world.
Jokers to the right.
Changing shoes again, are we?
I'm a different character.
Here I am, stuck in the middle with you.
All right.
start the segment, wasn't it?
These people are clowns. These people are clowns. These people are clowns. These people are clowns.
Where do I live?
It's hard to get
What
anywhere
is
near this
happening?
clown.
I'm literally dying. Well, I'm dying anyway.
2, 3, 4.
From under our dresses, acid with the
People
mask.
call
Yeah.
me Space
yeah,
Cowboy.
down.
Yeah.
Put it away for the moment,
Some
though.
call me the gangster love. Some people call me Maurice. Impetus of love.
Absolute fucking clown.
People talk about me, baby. Say I'm doing you wrong.
No, I'm saying bring it out, bring it out. Everyone's got it in this
I'm like the most conservative
Don't
person
you
ever.
worry, baby, don't worry. Cause I'm right here, right here, right here, right here at home. Cause I'm a picker, I'm a grinner, I'm a lover, and I'm a sinner. I play my music in the sun. I'm a joker, I'm a smoker, I'm a man.